All right, hello everyone. Call the meeting to order. It's Tuesday, January 6, 2026 at 7 p.m. This is the City Council regular meeting. Would everyone please rise to the invocation given by Dan Zander, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Most gracious God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time. We come to you now and celebrate our time for this New Year's of 2026. And thank you so much for this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here. Here.
All right, approval of the agenda. And I think there was a request to add a closed session from Mr. Albright.
I'll move that we approve the agenda and add the closed session for attorney-client privilege.
Support.
From Mr. Albright.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
All right, we'll move right into our proclamation recognition of Dan Zander. Councilman Curley, I know you'd like to read it. Would you, I guess, like to make a motion for all of us to adopt it first and then read it?
I would move that we adopt the proclamation in honor of Dan Zander.
Support.
And we're going to go up in front?
Yeah,
Yes.
Let's just call the roll real quick. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
And
Now we can go.
now we can.
Just a quick remark that I am truly honored to read this proclamation for my longtime friend of maybe 40 or 50 years. So if I start to break up a little bit, I'll have one of the council members finish it for me. Whereas it is with great honor that the city of Eastpointe recognizes the contributions of Dan Zander to the community of Eastpointe. And whereas Dan, as a crossing guard for the Eastpointe Community Schools for over 33 years, and whereas Dan served the students of every type of weather conditions, and whereas during that time, Dan kept the students of Eastpointe Community Schools safe and made many friends. And whereas Dan was thanked by the Superintendent and Board of Education of Schools at the December 8th, 2025 meeting. And whereas Dan often presented the invocation before the city council meetings. And whereas Dan will be missed. Whereas Dan will be missed by the community members and the students and staff of the schools. Now, therefore, the mayor and the city council of the city of Eastpointe proclaim that Dan Zander is hereby recognized for his many years of dedicated public service to the city of Eastpointe. Proclaimed the 6th day of January, 2026. Amen. school board like to have a final picture with Dan? Well, yes, we will. We'll step off.
All right, Dan, come on back up here. Dan, on behalf of the police department and your supervisor from the last several years, Detective Burkle, we just want to congratulate you and thank you for your 33 years of absolutely dedicated service to not only the citizens of Eastpointe, the schools of Eastpointe, but the Eastpointe Police Department. And we have a plaque for you. It says, thank you for your service with the Eastpointe Police Department, serving as a crossing guard for 33 years.
Take a picture.
Oh, should be like. Thank you. All right, we'll move into our presentation for the Michigan Downtown Association presentation of proclamation for Eastpointe DDA.
Good evening. My name is Dana Walker. I'm the director for the Michigan Downtown Association, and that is a very, very hard act to follow. So, sir, thank you so much for your service. It's wonderful to see a community member like you be honored. So, congratulations. That's amazing. Welcome. I'm here for other happy news as well. And now I'm through a little teary. That's very inspirational. So the Michigan Downtown Association has celebrated its 45th year this year. We are an organization of 230 members from across the state. We support our strong downtowns, downtown development authorities, and downtown management organizations. And we have now, I believe this was the 8th annual awards that we offered this year. And I'm happy to report that the Eastpointe Downtown Development Authority did win this year for 2025 for the Summer Concert Series, the best promotion or event from our entries and from across the state. So congratulations. I do have a proclamation to read. Whereas Michigan downtowns distinguish a community, are the drivers of economic development, and help to offer a sense of place that contributes significantly to the quality of life of residents. And whereas a downtown is the commercial core of a community that serves as its social and economic center, and whereas the Eastpointe DDA created a greater sense of place and connectivity with the restructuring and promotion of the Summer Concert Series, and whereas the series draws the participation of community members, nonprofits, and independent food trucks, And whereas Eastpointe Summer Concert Series provides a fun, free way for residents and visitors alike to enjoy live music with concerts throughout the summer season. And whereas the Summer Concert Series has become one of the Eastpointe DDA's authority's signature contributions to placemaking and promoting the downtown district as a fun place to enjoy a night out. And whereas downtown events are powerful catalysts for revitalization, and the Summer Concert Series embodies the power of a strong DDA. And whereas the Eastpointe Downtown Development Authority supported the project by providing financial investment, sponsorship drives, promotional materials, and general management. And now, therefore, the Michigan Downtown Association, founded in 1980 and is a statewide nonprofit organization with 230 members, and a driving force in the interest and growth of downtowns and communities throughout Michigan, do hereby recognize the efforts of the Eastpointe DDA and proclaim the Summer Concert Series as the recipient of the 2025 MDA Best Promotion or Event. Congratulations. And to represent our small businesses and our downtowns, the MDA created years ago a brick award. So the bricks and mortars that make our community strong, our small businesses and our downtown management organizations. So I have hauled this a long way, and my gas mileage is going to be much better on the way home, but I will offer this both to you. It really is a brick. It is, yeah. Yeah, very good. Thank you, and thank you. Thank you.
Such a gentleman.
We'll move into the first hearing of the public.
Dr. Early, Eastpointe Community resident, Eastpointe Community School Board president. I just want to say thank you so much for doing this proclamation for Dan. We are going to really miss him, the caliber of person he is. We're going to miss just his smiling face at every meeting. Our children is going to really miss having him on that corner. And so I can say from myself and our school board members that we really love you and we're going to miss you.
Hi, Gary Meyer in Eastpointe. Dan, we'll miss you. Did a good job all the years. I'll miss driving down on your corner of Grove and Stevens, waving at you all the time. And wish you well and safe and good luck. Thank you for all your service.
See ya.
Good evening, Council, Mary Hall Rayford, Eastpointe. Happy New Year. If I didn't get a chance to tell you that, I look forward to a new year of hope, cooperation, unity, compassion, fairness, and justice. And I wanted to, Dan is leaving, but I wanted to make sure I was here to tell him goodbye as well. Sweeter person nobody could ever meet, because he really is. One other thing, I know people have had issues with our police department from time to time, not wanting to support the things that they do or the work that they do. And I won't go into the details, but I want to thank Chief Haynes, because today he earned his paycheck from working with me. He earned his paycheck. And I just wanted to acknowledge that, because it's not all the time that you can tell someone how grateful you are for the effort they put in to help you accomplish something that means something to you. So have a good evening, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. and happy centennial. Somebody brought the attention that you guys are having meetings on Zoom, city council meetings every other week. I'd like the statute that backs that up.
We can't respond now, but if you hang around for a bit, we'll respond to that.
Yes, no problem, thank you.
Thank you.
I think somebody get Danny, forgot his proclamation. Craig Wadecki, first of all about Dan, I guess the one thing you could say is for 33 years, he always had a smile on his face, which really is a great way to go through life. So we'll miss you very much. Speaking of people we're gonna miss, last Saturday we had a funeral for a citizen who gave her heart and soul well into her advanced years. And I don't want to say how old she was because I think the lightning bolt would hit me from the skies. Nell Trzynski volunteered for many committees, commissions, St. Veronica, 8K homeowners, Grassy Cruise, more things than anyone could ever list. And she always wanted to make the city a better place. Good, thanks. I think those of you who remember Nell, it's kind of hard to forget her, but she always got her point across, but she got her point across in a way where she was never derogatory. She was never calling people out in public, but she made sure work got done. And she had a good run in this city, and she will be missed. But I think if we took an example from Nell, what she would do to make this city a better place, I think would really have a great city here. Thanks much, and happy New Year.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard?
Good evening, Council. John Solera, Kelly Road. This gentleman reminds me of St. Veronica's. Mr. Curley, you promised me publicly that St. Veronica's is now in its 100th year of service to Eastpointe, that he would get some type of proclamation that we just gave to Mr. Zander, who definitely deserved it. I don't know how you can get better than 100-year service with Eastpointe. If this council doesn't recognize the contribution of St. Veronica to Eastpointe, that would be a shame, and it would be a detriment to you guys. Miss, I don't know how to say your name, Pasadolek. Last meeting, you were very outspoken in your amount of pride for the people at Pride, or into the Pride thing, and how glad they are to be in Eastpointe. Well, I understand that. You actually gave this council $500,000 to a rainbow coalition for the garden, which in my estimation was worth about $300,000. You put a $200,000 driveway in it, and the thing doesn't bring a dime to Eastpointe. Mr. Mayor, last meeting I asked you if we got cut off from any money from the state Senate or the state House, and you didn't say a word about it, which is an indirect way of not telling the truth. Because now I hear that some money has been cut off for the courtroom. We're in this weird situation where your mother is state senator and is shoving something like 85% of her earmarks into Eastpointe. And you also have on the other end the folks in the legislature that are bound and determined to cut all that off. So better come to some kind of reckoning with the money here, because it might not last forever. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard?
Good evening. I'm an Eastpointe resident for 25 years. Sadly to say, I rarely ever came to a council meeting. And I'm concerned about a lot of the ordinance. And one in particular is the trash ordinance, where residents can, where they're able to put their trash in front of their home or in front of your home on trash pickup day. This has been something ongoing with several blocks in Eastpointe. I've been talking to neighbors and they're very concerned about it. And I was trying to look up an ordinance because when we have neighborhood meetings, I wanted to bring it up and see if there's anything that we can start to have neighbors, have someone to come to other than the neighborhood watch meeting. And everyone at the neighborhood watch meeting can address everything. And if we had like a liaison group that can address some of the problems that some of the residents have, that'd be great. And I wouldn't have a problem with doing any of that at no cost, actually. So just want you all to hear that.
Thank you. Can you state your name for the record?
Selena Mitchell.
Thank you.
Not a problem, thank you.
Anyone else wish to be heard?
Jennifer Nicholas, Eastpointe resident. Thank you very much for having the proclamation for Dan Zander. He is the embodiment of public service, selfless and helpful and such an asset to the community. I know he's been referred to as an ambassador of Eastpointe, and so I'm glad that he was recognized, and I, like many other people, will miss seeing him in the community at the council meetings, and I wish him the best. I see on the agenda that you are continuing discussions on the gun range. I thought that Chief Haynes put together a very in-depth, well-thought-out proposal on the gun range, the necessity for it, the reasons why it makes sense to have a gun range here as opposed to having our officers traveling to either other communities or other establishments for training. And I think financially, I don't think that the finance director was opposed to it necessarily. It seemed like he was in support of it also. And I hope that you will seriously consider following through with what Chief Haynes is asking for. You know, in addition to all of the reasons that he listed, I kind of feel that it's very competitive. It seems like a lot of cities are struggling to hire and retain police officers, and I would think that Eastpointe, it would be a selling point to come here, not only to have a brand-new police station and courtroom, but have a brand-new firing range on site. I think that that would attract police to our community as opposed to another community. And again, you can read in the paper every week looking at different cities that are short on staff or having trouble hiring a police chief, just from retirements, injuries, attrition to other communities. And I think especially with how busy our police force is, it's imperative to make sure that we are fully staffed with the most competent officers possible. And again, I think this firing range is very reasonable. They're not asking for an ice cream shop out in the parking lot. This is something that is legitimate and serious, and it's, you know, it's one of those things that, again, goes back to the foundation of the city. Public safety is very important in this city, especially with our crime rate, and anything that we can do to support our police and also show
You have about 15 seconds, sorry.
show new police officers that our city does support our police department. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, the first hearing of the public is closed. We'll move on to approval of the minutes, approval of regular meeting minutes from December 16, 2025.
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we accept the minutes of the regular meeting, December 16th,
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes?
Councilmember Pashadlik,
Yes.
Councilmember Scott,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes. All right. Item B, approval of the closed session meeting minutes from December 16, 2025.
I move that we approve the closed session meeting minutes from December 16th, 2025.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Pashadlik,
Yes.
Councilmember Scott,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes. And item C, approval of the special meeting minutes from December 22nd, 2025.
Move that we approve the special meeting minutes from December 22nd, 2025.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Pashadlik,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Scott.
Yes.
All right, there are no scheduled hearings. Moving on to unfinished business, which is the discussion on the police court and gun range. Did anyone on council want to open up?
Yes, there has been a lot of discussion on the gun range over the last several months at this council table. And tonight we are ready to hopefully approve the motion to add that to our bonding project for the building and the range as well. If you noticed, there wasn't a motion in our packet, but I asked before the meeting started, and I do when the time comes, Mr. Mayor, to, if I may, read the motion to approve the request.
All right, anyone want to discuss?
I have a couple questions. Ryan, I realize our city manager is brand new, so this may not have actually been something that you were even aware of or, were working on. So I apologize for asking at the table, but it kind of dawned on me. While we did receive quite a bit of information, and it was great, thank you very much to our police chief for the thorough paperwork that you had provided us. I had a question about whether other cities utilize other departments. So it's like my understanding, I think it's St. Clair Shores, and I apologize if I'm misspeaking on that one. I think they don't have their own gun range. Is that correct? Do we know that? I don't think they do.
I am afraid I don't know off the top of my head, but I will defer to Chief Haynes.
Yes, Your Honor. St. Clair Shores currently uses Macomb Community College gun range. They also use Macomb County Sheriff's Department, and they also will occasionally use Roseville.
Okay. So I guess, see, that was the other thing is I kind of, there's a lot of information here too. I don't know that I'm ready to move on this immediately, but I kind of wanted to know those figures too, because this is a pretty big price tag here on this proposed gun range. I'm not saying that I'm against it. I just kind of wanted to see all of the information, I guess, like with respect to, let's say if we did approve a gun range and then other communities could potentially utilize ours, if there's any interest in that, as well as, I guess I kind of want to know if we would reach out to St. Clair Shores to find out, hey, how much does it cost them to utilize Macomb? Just a thought.
I already did that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was, I believe it was part of the report, but it may have been kind of buried in there. But I have spoken with St. Clair Shores directly. They would be interested in some kind of a sharing agreement because it's much closer to them than going all the way to the county or going all the way to the college. I can tell you that I came from Madison Heights, and Madison Heights had a gun range, and we refurbished the gun range. And the city of Royal Oak did not have the room to build a gun range with their initial building, so they entered into a contract with Madison Heights while I was there. So I have experience in that, and I have reached out to local departments, and I will continue to do so, but it's hard to get anything concrete because we don't know if we're getting a gun range.
Right.
Right,
So
so-
I know it's all hypothetical at
Yes.
this point.
Yes,
was just
I believe we
curious.
will have
Okay, I
cities
must
that
have
will
missed that, I'm
partake.
sorry. That was primarily my question.
Mayor, just to add to this conversation, I think we would all agree that it's a lot safer for our people to be here in our own city to use the gun range and to qualify or requalify if they have to, rather than going someplace else with inclement weather, the safety factor that they have to carry their weapons with them when they go out of town to another facilities. So the safety part is extremely important, as I can see it, with a new gun range.
All right, if I may. So, I mean, from the information we were provided, it seems like it's a feasible expense. I still have some concerns about the budget overall because just the courthouse alone and then the radios we've gotten, I just think we should have a broader conversation about down the line as we are planning for all these big expenses that will all kind of hit at once. Where are we going to tighten our belts? Because I think we should prepare for that. But we need new facilities, so it's inevitable. So I just want to keep that in mind. Regarding the cost and such, I mean, it looks like we're heading this direction, but I wanted to sort of explore a couple of options. I know that we had said no to a basement, for example, and I know that our gun range wasn't a basement. Roseville has it. I was wondering if the expense of having solid, building it to the specs that it, increased the cost, is that why it was initially in the basement? Would it make sense to explore that option to save money on adding a gun range, and maybe space as well for parking?
Yeah, I don't know if it would, I mean, that would be an AUW question, whether it would save money, but one of the major purposes of moving them to a separate location and not having them in the same building is contamination. Even though you separate it out and you have a separate ventilation system for the gun range than you do for the rest of the building, inevitably, powder, lead, all the things that are part of ammunition will spread through the system. So the idea of building it in a separate building where it's contained instead of being in the general population has been, I guess, moving forward has been the trend, to not have it in the basement, but I don't know what kind of cost that would be.
And I'm just bringing it up for the first time, so I don't really expect much of an answer. Oh, sure.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We can definitely explore that and see what that cost would be. I have a feeling it's probably not going to be much of a cost difference just because of the ventilation that's going to be required, having it in the same building, but that's something we can definitely present.
And Council, this was sort of in the same vein. I wanted to see how Council felt about also doing something like AEW's been working on this from the start when we had the discussions, started having the design, so we knew what we were looking at before we asked for any funding from the state. I'd like to ask administration to consider like an RFP to see if anyone would have a proposal for a different design or something. I don't want to spend a lot of money. When we get a new roof, you normally get 3 estimates before you pick one, and we're about to spend, I think, north of $18 million. Also, I kind of wanted to consult because I'm nervous about where the numbers are, just to kind of get an idea of, a more solid idea of how much we're expecting this to cost. I don't want to run out of money when we take a bond out. Council, have any thoughts?
I guess for me, I was comfortable. I mean, I've been comfortable with the idea of moving forward. And I know it's been kind of a long-running conversation. I'm hesitant about trying to go out and get other designs from other people. Because that'll be an added cost. And I know prior to tonight's meeting, when Chief Haynes has spoken about this gun range and the commitment with other communities, that it basically looked like it would pay for itself over time. So with that in mind, I'm comfortable moving forward with it as presented, just for that reason alone. But then also, like they were just saying, the safety aspect of it and keeping all the lead and all the other contaminants out of the main building. Health and safety is a thing that's really huge for me. My job has a big focus on health and safety, and I would not want to compromise anybody's well-being just to save a couple dollars. But then the concern is that the lead and all that exhaust and whatever else I might be leaving out is getting into the ventilation system. I wouldn't feel comfortable with trying to redesign it in that regard, just for the well-being of the officers that'll be using it. But it's just my opinion about it. I'm actually comfortable moving forward as is. I think they need it, and I think it's justifiable. So,
I think what I was more thinking of, because I don't disagree. I think we've asked for information and gotten it where it's feasible. Was more about getting cost estimates from saying, we think it would cost you this much to build this kind of building. I think that's where I was coming from. It's kind of getting a broader view, because this has fluctuated a little bit since it was first pitched to us, and, I just wanted to see if there was any better design out there. It's a police and courthouse, so it's got to be built solid. I moved to a new building recently, a new courthouse, and I think there are some costs that might have been skipped that shouldn't have been. I think when you have criminals coming in and out and people who are distressed, the walls have to be brick. Everything has to be sturdy. It's got to stand the test of time. It's going to get a lot of use. So I agree with that, 100%.
yeah, and I understand that. And I guess the other thing that I look at is, this has kind of been, AEW has been involved from the beginning of the process. I don't want to go in and just get another cook to add to the making of the broth, if you will. But that's just my feelings about it, though. But I do understand where you're coming from.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Sure.
Since this is going to still go out for a procurement, I'm assuming the gun range would be bid as its own project, the cost, right, Ryan? That it would be, while there's a total cost, it would still be broken down by the main building and then the gun range. So then it would give council the opportunity that if there's a vendor that can do everything for the best value bid, whereas if there's somebody that can do the big building as the best value, and someone can do the gun range as the best value, council would have that option?
That is correct. Yeah, we would set it up that way. It wouldn't be bid as one package, but we would separate the gun range as a separate cost in the bid.
Mr. Mayor, the motion we're going to vote on tonight says nothing about what the building's going to look like. It has some cost estimates, but tonight we're voting on, do we even want one? And knowing AEW and our administration, the cost that they prescribed in here is very fluid. It's not written in ink right now. So I think we should be comfortable in voting for the project. And then if the cost can go down, fine. We can decide on that as a council and mayor. But the reasons given by the citizens and the council people about why we need it is valid. So I would hope that when you're ready, I can read the motion and we'll see what happens.
I agree with that. I think I was kind of talking down the line. I'd like to maybe consult someone with the plans before we put a shovel in the ground is all. But I'm comfortable with the gun range, wherever it might be, if it was under the building or next to it. But, if we could save space, I just figured I'd ask the question.
I have another question that I just thought of, and I think it would be with with respect to Randy. You had sent that memo, which was very thorough, and I do appreciate you doing that. You had given the scenario of the 25-year bond issue and the cost, the annual estimated bond payment costs that would be for both, using that scenario with requiring it. That does not include like utilities or any of that other stuff. That is strictly bond, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Would you like to read a motion?
Sure. I would move to approve the addition of the gun range to the new police department and 38th District Court project and for the cost to be included in the total budget of the project, including bonding.
I'll support.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes?
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Councilmember Scott.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And we'll move on to reports from administration. Our city manager's report, Mr. Mattis.
All right, thank you. The Dan Zander fan club, it runs deep, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What a showing. That was very cool. Just a couple things. I wanted to relay that our snow plowing plans, that there is a plan. So I know we're not thinking about snow on a rainy night, but just wanted to reiterate that the map of which roads get plowed and when is available on our website, but all priority 1 and 2 roads are plowed after any snow, and then all roads are plowed when there's 4 or more inches of snow. So just so you know, if you have any questions, it will be on the website. And then just a couple other reminders for council. We're working on setting up a tour of all city buildings. So as we begin the budgeting process, we wanted to find some availability that we can get together and load up in the van and check out what we're working with before we get too far into the budgeting process. So is it best to do that via email? Do we want to just draw a poll real quick when we're available in late January, early February? I'll send you something or give you a call this week and we'll find some time that works. Is that best?
I'm happy to, I'm looking at my calendar right now. I was thinking a Saturday or Sunday because I think that's probably when we would all be available.
That's probably the safest,
What?
safest day. He said a Saturday or a Sunday.
I would be in favor of any Saturday, but not Sunday.
So I did speak to Tony Lipinski. Typically, we would rent, I believe, like a small vehicle from Rare. And they just said they would need at least 2 weeks' notice, or would prefer that at least. So I think that really just leaves us with 24th and 31st, if we wanted to try to get it done this month. I'm free.
Well, we're looking for the date again.
Either January 24th or 31st.
Well, I don't care if there's probably going to be snow on the ground, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be snow on the ground either. That's a Saturday, right?
A Saturday, yep.
I don't care, either one.
I would prefer the 31st.
Okay.
Does that work?
Any objections? Okay.
31st?
A very informal straw poll, but, okay. We'll start working with Tony and Rare to line up the van and make sure we're ready for that. Sounds good, thank you.
And we can't deliberate.
Correct, it's a workshop, informal, right, we're just taking a tour. Also, there's several training opportunities coming up for elected and appointed officials, so we'll be sharing those to you, especially newly elected officials that might be of interest. And otherwise, we are beginning to prepare for the State of the City address on February 2nd, to steal your thunder on that. Otherwise, I'm very excited for a big 2026 for Eastpointe, so thank you.
Do you want to address the gentleman's, during the hearing of the public, he said something about Zoom hearings and he wanted to know the statute. I'm not aware of the council having Zoom hearings every other week.
Good point, yes. We don't have Zoom meetings. Open Meetings Act currently does not allow for electronic meetings. We do share our meetings via YouTube. There's a live stream. That's a one-way communication though, so you can watch those from home. So anybody who's out there, hello. But you can't vote via electronic communication that way. So we do have in place that if that were to change, if the law were to change, then that option could become available to us in the future. But right now, electronic Zoom meetings do not happen for the city of Eastpointe. Cool, thank you.
Any questions?
Nope.
All right, we'll move on to our finance director's report, Mr. Blum.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. I just have one item. We received a notice from the Attorney General's office related to the opioid settlement monies. By February 13th, we have to respond with how much we received by check, by settlement, and what date, going back to 2023. I've already got that piece done. And then we have to tell them how much we've spent 2023 to date, which is zero. And if we have any upcoming planned expenditures, which we actually have never had that conversation of how we're going to spend that money. So the answer to the expenditures would both currently be zero. I don't know if you want to make that a discussion topic on the 20th. I think Rich would have to bring the rules of what we can and can't spend it on, because that part I don't even know. I just received checks and put them in the bank. So.
How much is it?
We have received, now I got to put my readers on. So far, we have received $346,777.63, and we have spent none of it.
Oh, I have lots of suggestions.
Well, it's got to be within the guidelines. And I think most of the approved expenditures are things that we as a city do not do, and that's part of the problem. But it's worth having a conversation before a reply is given to the state. So,
I'm sorry, when do we have to reply?
February 13th.
Council, do you want to discuss it at that meeting, or?
Well, I think we should come with ideas once we get what we can spend it on, what we can't. And I'm sure all five of us have some ideas on what we'd like to spend it on. And we can be creative too, right?
As long as it's within the rules, yes.
Oh, I always stay within the rules.
Anything else?
That was all I had.
All right, any questions for Mr. Blum? Move on to our city attorney's report, Mr. Albright.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Council is in receipt of our monthly status report. It is considerably longer than last month's. The reason for that is Mr. Myers back in November provided me with requests to file numerous nuisance abatement actions in the Macomb County Circuit Court. These involves properties that are blighted here in the city. Some include also garages which were subject to fires. The goal is to have all of those properties off the blight list and either the structures completely brought up to code or demolished by springtime. And that's all I have, Mayor. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Albright? All right, we'll move on to new business. Would anyone like to make a motion to receive and file the fiscal year 2025 audit report?
So moved.
Support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Okay. Item B, approval of the parking lease with USPS. Would anyone like to make a motion?
All right, I move that we approve the parking lease with the United States Postal Service and authorize the city manager to sign all necessary documents.
I would support it, but with a couple comments.
Sure.
Right now, we've been charging the post office $750 per month. The new contract will increase to $945 per month. An increase of $9,000 or $11,000 increase from $9,000. Also, we used to give them a number of 5-year contracts. This time, we're going to go with one 5-year contract and negotiate a new contract after the first 5 years. We're not going to have 3 consecutive 5 years should this pass. So that's going to increase an increase of $2,340 per year for the 5 years from what we were charging the post office.
right, any other comments? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes?
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. Item C, approval of award of 2026 park fencing improvements contract.
Motion to award the 2026 park fencing contract to Nationwide Construction Group of Richmond, Michigan, in the amount of their alternate bid plus a 10% contingency for a total of $39,436.10.
Support.
All right, any comments?
Yes. Just to let the folks know where the $39,000 is going to go, we're going to put a fence around the perimeter of Roxanna Park Playground, and so that's going to be pretty nice. Then also, we're going to put an 8-foot fence at Kennedy Park, separating the DPW and the park itself. And it'll be 8 feet, and that's where the money's going to.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes?
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
All right, item D, approval of reappointment of Rare in Eastpointe. Sorry, Rare.
You want to start over on that?
I would move to approve the reappointment of Randy Blum to the Recreation Authority of Roseville and Eastpointe with a term to expire on January 1st, 2029.
Support.
I did stumble over that. Sorry. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. Item E, schedule joint meeting of City Council with the Planning Commission.
Well, if we have the joint meeting, would it be on an off Tuesday?
Yes.
No?
Or the proposals for March 17th, I think.
It's what?
At 6 p.m.
Yep, Tuesday,
Which is Tuesday.
17th. It's one of our Tuesdays. It's March 17th, which is a regular council Tuesday, but it'd be at 6 p.m.
If we're meeting with the Planning Commission and meeting at 6 p.m. and our meeting starts at 7, good luck. That's not going to happen.
Mr. Mayor?
You've never been to a Planning Commission meeting, apparently. And if they're beautiful, but why can't we do it on an off Tuesday? Then we start these meetings, it's probably going to end up starting at 8 minutes after 6 or 10 minutes after 6, and then everybody's going to be, you've got 5 members here. Was there 7 or 8 on the planning? 7 or 8 members. You're not going to get done in an hour. And we have people come in at 7 o'clock for the council meeting. Well, we're not going to start on time. So just a suggestion.
Mr. Mayor, if I may?
Yes, please.
The suggestion actually was that the consultants for the master plan will be in town. So the suggestion was for the planning commission to come meet with city council from 6 to 6:45. So the planning consultant, the master plan consultants would have an opportunity to present to both the city council and planning commission the results and the findings as they start to summarize everything and move to the final draft of the master plan. So it will be a structured meeting.
A structured meeting? What does that mean?
We will have an agenda where the consultants will present, and then there will be some questions, and then.
Not having an agenda is even more wow.
No, we'll have an agenda. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Well, make the motion and I'll vote no.
And to be frank, I mean, if there's needed discussion and it goes a few minutes late, I think we'll be okay as long as we start the council meeting immediately following that. But I'll make a motion to schedule the joint city council and planning commission meeting for Tuesday, March 17th, 6 p.m. Prior to the regular city council meeting.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
No.
All right. Payroll and bills. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Sure I got the right sheet here. That's the right one. Okay. Yeah, I move that we pay the bills in the amount of $1,508,420.51.
Support.
All right, any questions on that? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
All right, and with that, the second hearing of the public is open. Would anyone wish to be heard?
Well, since I'm a strong supporter of the police department, I would think that the community garden be turned over to the police department. It'll save you a lot of financing, 9/10 of an acre there, no building on it, nothing has to be torn down, you can just build up. And foolishly, actually, the community garden to me looks like corruption. Just buying the votes of a very small amount of Eastpointe people. And the opioid settlement should belong to the police department. So there you go, cut your costs. I would like to make reference to the latest Roseville Eastpointe Insider on the firing of the teacher from Eastpointe Community Schools, which says that this gentleman was fired, and he was known to be he had records for suspicion of attention sexual encounters of a minor. He had porn on his phone, child porn, which means, Chief, you have officers in the school, you've got a teacher walking around with child porn on their phone. So this is not good. Christine Gibson is a terrible supervisor. She doesn't take stuff seriously. Now we have the state moving in with this new sex ed policy where they want to transition kindergartners, begin transitioning kindergartners. It's a Democratic Party thing. So just be aware that we've had a teacher with porn on their phone walking around the school. We never did hear from the district whether any children from Eastpointe were in his photos. Nobody wants to investigate anything. They fired him real quick. And by the way, Ms. Scott, this has nothing to do with you. I realize good people can come from a bad system. And Eastpointe Schools is a very bad system. And I applaud the police department for their hard work. And yes, you're going to lose officers in the future because you know what?
You have 30 seconds.
ICE is offering $50,000 sign-up fees for officers that join ICE. So you're going to have competition for police officers soon. And the prices are going to go up. And we do need a separate facility for the gun training. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard?
Hi, Jennifer Nicholas, Eastpointe resident. Thank you for moving forward with the gun range, and hopefully the plans, whatever plans you come up with, are in line with what Chief Haynes and our police force need. I realize that money is tight everywhere, but when we're allocating money, I feel that public safety and foundational issues like that should come first. And if we need to tighten our belt somewhere else, that's maybe more entertainment-wise, maybe that's where we might have to buckle down. But I think that our finance director, Mr. Blum, will be able to figure out a way to do all of this. And talking about the Planning Commission, City Council meeting, and TPMA, Mr. Curley has a point. I don't know if you watch planning commission meetings, but the last couple of meetings where the consultants, TPMA, have been presenting, they haven't been able to finish their presentation because of questions and interactions with the planning commissioners. So I do think, you know, even though this might be structured, it may take more time if you all are going to have questions or there's going to be interactions with the consultants. It may very easily run well over 45 minutes or even an hour, just something to consider. I know that they're only able to be in town certain times or, you know, certain days and that, but it may make more sense to have a longer joint meeting, and then I don't know if you're able to move a city council meeting to an off week like you do when people are on vacation or something comes up or there's a holiday. Just something to consider. Thank you.
Just once again, congrats to Dan Zander. We're thankful for the 30 years of service, 30 plus years, 33, I believe it was. And that's definitely a labor of love. I'm sure he'll find something to do good with his newly found free time. But we definitely appreciate his hard work and dedication to keeping the kids safe in the community. And then also congrats to the DDA for their recognition or for their award. And Happy New Year to everyone, and that is all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Curley.
A lot of wonderful things have been said about Dan, and everything you said is absolutely true. I've known Dan for many decades, and you know, it is exciting and a pleasure to be friends with somebody who is so gentle and so lovable and so kind as Dan is. And I would hope that he finds something to do. The second thing is the community garden. It was mentioned that there's not very many people that use the community garden. When you have something like that that's offered to the city, it's not the numbers that count. It's what the people get out of it and the pleasure that they get from planting their own products and to communicate with one another. So it doesn't matter if there's 30 or if there's 3,000. That doesn't matter. And as far as losing police officers to that organization, whose name I'm not going to mention, I wonder if they get paid benefits. Do they have a retirement policy? I don't know. I doubt it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Pachadlik.
I'd also like to commend Dan Zander and wish him well on his retirement. He's been an icon in our community for so many years, and I have the same sentiment as everybody else with respect to him. He was such a good cheerleader for our schools, and especially like our students and stuff, our athletes. He was at every game and just, you know, constantly a reminder to the kids and the students, you know, to keep up the good work. Even when the kids were losing, I mean, there was a year where my son's team on the football team, they lost every game. Didn't matter. He still had a smile on his face. He still encouraged everybody, and he still attended those and rooted on the team. You know, he was always just such a great beacon of light in our community, and he's going to be missed sorely. So I truly am going to miss him. And then I just wanted to also thank our finance director, Randy, for volunteering to be on the RARE Commission. I believe that that's a very good thing to have you on there, and I appreciate you doing that in addition to your other duties. And thank you for your thorough reports. And that's all I have.
Councilwoman Scott.
Nothing.
All right. I want to echo some of the sentiments about Dan. Dan is a staple in the community, so he will be really missed. When I was in connecting with the kids, when I was a senior in high school, he was our grand marshal for homecoming. because he went to all the football games. There just wasn't a better choice, and all the kids love him. Dan the man, he will be missed. Nell Drzezinski was a character. If you knew her, she was a tough lady, and I think some of the comments that were at the hearing of the public were right. She was never rude or mean, but she let you know what she thought. She did a lot for the community. She ran a homeowners association. She kept a newsletter going for years, collected medical equipment, and kept it in stock for people that needed it. So Nell really did a lot of great things for the community. So just wanted to give her a shout out. So Happy New Year to everyone. And with that, I will entertain a motion to go into closed session for attorney-client communications.
So move.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. Go into closed session at 8:06.
How do you read that? I got it. You can actually read that, but it's that small.
All right.
At the university?
Reconvening an open session at 8:36 PM. I believe we might have a motion.
Yes, I would move that Moses Roses were eligible and met the criteria by December 31st, 2025, and they are eligible for retail license.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes?
Councilmember Scott?
Can I abstain?